Tell me when to go. This is the scratch art project using, and we're going to do an iguana and scratch art. These are the supplies you'll need: is a pencil, a stylus stick, and Scotch tape. The tape is to tape down the paper when the kids are done, when they're tracing, but I'm using it right now to keep this paper steady. So the first thing you would do is draw your imaginary windows. You got your squares, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then just start drawing the iguana. And I have the detail sheet here. You can see where there's the steps. Let me see if I can get in the camera. Step by step. So you start with a head in square number 2. So in square number 2, I'm going to draw kind of a strange looking upside down what? Fish hook. Very good, Steve. Upside down fish hook in square number 2. And then I will connect the fish hook with an oval or a line that continues down for the head. And then while I'm working on the head, I'll go ahead and put his eye in. It's a big circle. His mouth is kind of 3 lines, one in the middle and a long U. And then we work all the way over to square 1 by using a half circle. Right next to, I have a little tiny U here, and then I'm going to use a half circle or an upside down U all the way into square number 1 and stopping at square number 3. Then I will continue down into square number 3 and go around and up, right there at the square 1 line. Then I go around, let's see, where is this? This, I'm going to use an imaginary line. I would go around like a circle and like that. It looks like a curly Q. Then I am going to make this like a half moon here for the tail. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to square number 2 and work my way down into square number 4. So in square number 2, right beneath the little loop here, I'm going to draw this shape, which is, I don't know, kind of an oblong with a triangular end, and then connect with a rectangle for the feet. Then next I will move down because I want to finish this imaginary line. You want to keep these level. Another long U, rectangle, oval, whatever, right here for the back leg. So now you have his legs. Then you go back to square number 2 and continue down this line. There's the imaginary line, and hook up back to his tail in square number 3 and up and around, so that I have now the completion of the tail. It's wrapping around what? The tree I forgot to draw. Here's the tree. So it's wrapping around a tree. I'll put a V in here so you can see it's a tree. There. So now you have the iguana drawn. I forgot one thing. In square number 2, there is another arm here showing, kind of overlapping this log. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw this line here of the log, the tree. So there is the iguana. Then you would decorate the iguana like this using all the patterns. The kids can kind of make up their own patterns, but I would have them do the major the basic markings here. These markings like the on the back, and then they can work inside or around it with the negative spaces. So let's see, I'm just kind of making this up, stripes here, but put some markings so that they have a nice spatial decorations on the iguana. So I'm doing this back leg, some stripes, and then between those you would do the dots. They could actually do the dots after they're done tracing it onto the black paper instead of doing it now. Just get the basics down. Plants, tropical plants here. I'm drawing really quickly. Leaves that are coming down. You want to fill those spaces with the elements of design, using design repetitive patterns. Let's see, put something here. So that's just a quick sketch. Now when you're done with that, you would take this black piece of paper, it's the scratch art, and stick it underneath. Ooh, this is wet. Yikes. Something happened to my scratch art paper. It's all wet. But I'm going to get the driest piece and put it up. I put it under here. Must have got caught in the rain. Put it under here. Now, I have this tape. I'm going to tape it down securely. All right? So you tape these down for the students. Then the students have to draw this again by tracing really hard. And I'm just doing the basics, and I would recommend that for the students too, because if you do too much detail, they'll get tired. It's more fun for them to do the detail later on the scratch art. So I'm drawing this, tracing over everything I did real quickly for this. Putting the tree down, the background, the leaves. And then I lift it up and I start to, I use my stick, and you can see the lines. You can't see them here, but there are lines that I can see. And I start tracing those lines again to create a beautiful stained glass type of scratch art picture of my iguana. So I'm tracing here, and try to keep your hands off the paper and just trace. And the end result is your iguana right here. So I scratched everything out. I used elements of design to do the patterns, and I have a great looking iguana, and that is it.